No, I didn't come here for lunch. I came to see Mac.
Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't have both, me and lunch. You know how your mother worries about you.
No, well, it's not necessary. I'm doing just fine.
Yes, I certainly hear that.
What?
That you're managing very well at the complex.
Who told you that?
Liz Matthews, who else? If she doesn't know, nobody would.
Well, that was nice of her.
It's true, isn't it?
Well, I'm keeping my head above water.
Listen, you guys, I know where this conversation is heading, and I don't like it.
Can I ask him just one more question?
Just one more question.
How long are you going to be on this business trip to New York?
A couple of weeks.
When are you going, Annie?
Sunday. I should have gone last week, but with Willis gone, I couldn't.
He'll be back soon, won't he?
Tonight.
Look, as long as you're in the office
Mac.
in New York. Tell you next week.
No, week after next.
You see, she's arranged a schedule which she thinks that I'm going to adhere to.
Mac, you promised. Now, no business talk for this week, and then the week after you can work a few hours each day here at the house.
Well, that doesn't sound unreasonable to me.
That's because you don't have to do it.
It's great to see you looking so good, Mac.
Well, your mother's entirely responsible for that.
Yes, in about 2 days, I'm going to have to time to the bed.
No. How does Amanda feel about all
She's
this?
beside herself.
I wasn't here 10 minutes, and she was in the middle of this bed with all of her toys and a box. Proof positive.
Well, it looks like you have your hands full.
Yes, I do. 2 children. I'll manage. Come in.
Excuse me.
Yes, good.
Mrs. Bancroft's downstairs to see you, sir.
Oh, well, by all means, have her come up.
Very well, sir.
Kind of surprising.
Why should it be? She's my daughter, after all.
Oh, I know, but I didn't think she'd have time to come over here.
Why not?
Well, Philip and Cecile are getting married this afternoon in their suite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see.
How do you feel about that, Jamie?
Well, if it's what Cecile wants, it's okay with me.
Hello, darling.
Daddy, darling.
Oh, well.
Oh, here's a warm welcome.
Are they looking after you all right?
Yes, they are, Iris.
Oh, well, you know what I mean.
Yes, I generally do.
Why don't you say hello to Jamie?
I'm sorry. Hello, how are you, Jamie?
Hello, Iris. How are you?
Fine. How brave. I've been so worried about you,
No
Daddy.
reason to be. I'm feeling fine.
No, you are really?
Don't I look fine?
Jamie, why don't we go downstairs? I'm sure Iris would like to visit with Mac all alone.
Dear.
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Good luck on your trip to New York.
Thank you, and take care.
Please, give us a call now and then, will you?
I sure will. Nice to see you, Iris.
Good to see you, too.
We'll be downstairs.
All right, thank you, dear.
Oh, you are. You're looking so much better than you did a few days
Well,
ago.
I'm gradually getting stronger, and I really do feel fine.
Now, promise me you won't overdo it.
No, I'll take it very easy.
Darling, do you think that Rachel has maybe rushed you into coming back here, you know, straight from the hospital?
No, not at all. Both Kevin and Russ said I should come home today.
Well, I wasn't really talking about your health, darling.
Well, what do you mean by rushing things, then?
Well, your relationship with Rachel.
Oh. Well, I must admit, it's difficult for me to believe that she'd want me back.
Well, why don't you put off making a final decision about that until you're completely recovered? Hmm?
No. I have no doubts about how much I love her. And I hope she loves me.
Well, you know, your marriage was always a very stormy one over the years. Oh, well, never mind.
I'm glad you said never mind.
Mm.
Perhaps we should change the
Yeah,
subject.
all right.
Well, what about the wedding? You got everything under control there?
Oh, yes. It's going to be a small, quiet affair.
You're very good at those sort of things.
Thank you.
You know, I had gotten to be very fond of Cecile.
She's a very lovely girl.
But I'm so sorry that things didn't work out between her and Jamie. Do you think Philip is good enough for her?
Oh, yes. Oh, they're madly in love.
Really? There was a time when her feelings about him were just the opposite of love.
Oh, yes, but he's changed so much since he's been in Bay City.
You seem very positive about that.
Yeah. I like to think that I helped reform him. Oh, to a certain extent, not that much.
You a reformer? I never thought of you as a reformer.
Oh, well, I've changed, too.
Really?
Completely changed.
I Iris.
Believe me.
Well, Brian, I thought I heard your voice.
Hello, Rachel.
How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. Hey, don't you look wonderful?
Well, a little sleep does wonders, you know.
Yeah, well, I hear that Mac came home from the hospital.
Yeah, Brooks told you.
No, Jamie did.
Jamie, he just left.
Yeah, we passed each other in the driveway, and we stopped and chatted for a
Oh,
moment.
good.
May I take your cup?
Oh, thank you, Brooks.
Can I bring you something? Tea or coffee?
No, thank you.
Very good.
Do you suppose I could say hello to Mac?
Oh, he'd love to see you, Brian, but Iris is upstairs with him right now.
Well, how long has she been up there?
Not long.
Then I'll wait till she's finished.
When did you get back from St. Croix?
About a half hour ago. I came here directly from the airport.
Oh, could you tell me about it before Iris comes down?
All right.
Sit down.
I saw Mitch.
How is he?
Well, he's off the critical list.
How does he look?
Terrible. But that's not surprising, considering what he's gone through.
Was he coherent when he talked to you?
Yes, he was in pain, but coherent.
What did he say?
Not much, actually.
Because he was in pain?
No. He refused to tell me the whole story because he felt that people had suffered enough already.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Neither can I. Besides, it wouldn't have done much good anyway.
Because he's not going to stand trial?
Yes. You see, there is some incriminating evidence against Mitch. Not enough to convict him. So the St. Croix police have dropped the charges.
Scott's going to drop the charges, too.
I'm afraid Scott doesn't have a case.
He blames me for that.
What do you mean?
He's angry with me because I couldn't give him any hard facts.
Angry?
Well, at least that's what it seemed like to me. Of course, maybe I'm not used to being questioned by a DA.
Well, I saw a copy of your statement.
You did?
Scott sent it to St. Croix police, a copy, and they showed it to me. And there's nothing in it that would be admissible in a court of law.
Ironic, isn't it?
What is?
Well, all I had to go on was my intuition, which is why you and Scott thought I was having some sort of a breakdown.
Well, it's all over now, Rachel.
No, not quite, Brian.
Well, you won't go to court.
No, I know that. But Mac has lots of questions.
That you haven't answered for him.
I keep asking him not to think about it until he's feeling better. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to get away with that excuse.
Well, hopefully, until he's strong enough to deal with some answers.
Brian, he's been through so much.
Now, come on, there are certain truths that he's going to have to face eventually.
Do you have any idea of when Mitch is going to be released from the hospital down there?
Well, the doctor said it'd probably be a week or 10 days. Now, you and Mac feel that you owe him something, don't you?
Is he going to come back here to Bay City?
Well, we didn't discuss that, but I'm sure that he will. I mean, his business is here.
Hello, darling. Brooks told me you were down here.
Hello, Iris.
Why didn't you come upstairs when you first arrived?
Would you have allowed me to get a word in edgewise?
Probably not.
Brian, would you wait until I go up and give Mac his medication?
Of course not.
I won't be long.
Yeah, don't rush on my account. Oh,
So good to see you.
are you on your way out?
Not if I can spend a few minutes with you. Oh, it's so good to see you again. I missed you.
Oh, it's so good to be back. Come on, let's sit
All
down.
right. I want you to tell me all about your trip.
Ah, my trip. Okay. Well, it was business hours.
You mean you won't discuss it with me?
I can't discuss it with you.
Did you have a pleasant flight?
Oh, yes, it was very pleasant and very productive. I caught up on all my reading.
Oh, now that sounds wonderful. Oh, that means you can leave your briefcase at the office and devote all your time to me.
Well, yeah, that's assuming that I haven't got all kinds of work piled up in my office since I've been gone.
You know me, darling, the eternal optimist.
Speaking of optimists, you know, Jamie and Rachel seem to be very optimistic about Mac's progress.
Well, yes, he does seem a lot better than he was in hospital.
Do I detect a note of reservation?
Well, I'm not too sure that I'm completely happy about this situation.
What situation?
Well, Max being here in the house with Rachel.
Well, that's what they both wanted.
No, that's what Rachel
Well,
wants.
so did Mac.
Oh, darling, he's too weak to know what he wants.
Now, Iris, don't you start that again.
Stop what?
Attempting to break up Mac and Rachel.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, no. Now, don't you Brian me. I know exactly what you're doing, and I will not tolerate it.
And don't be so cross with me.
Then stop interfering in Mac and Rachel's life. It is no concern of yours.
Of course it's my concern. He's my father. I am worried about his welfare.
Well, in case you've forgotten, Rachel risked her life to save Mac, and I think she's capable of taking care of it.
All right. Don't upset yourself. I just thought I'd make the observation.
And I'd appreciate it if you'd keep your opinions to yourself from now on.
All right. I won't say another word.
Good.
Have you taken your luggage back to the suite yet?
No, I just came in from the airport.
Oh, well, then you're in for a very big surprise.
What are you talking about?
Well, have you forgotten that Cecile and Philip are getting married in our suite this afternoon?
Oh, yes, so they are.
Yes. You'll probably walk into a madhouse, but it's going to look lovely at some point this afternoon.
Oh, he's not sleepy?
No, he's very anxious to see you.
All right, I won't stay very long because I know this is his first day home.
Shall I wait for you, darling?
Oh, I don't see why, Iris. We both have our cars. And I do have to stop by the office for a few minutes when I leave here.
All right. Don't be late for the wedding.
No, I'll be there in plenty of time.
So you're giving a wedding today, Iris?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you have plenty of things to do.
No, I've got lots of time. If there's one thing I am, it's organized.
Yes, that's one thing you may be.
Oh, let's not trade insults, Rachel.
Why, Iris? It's the only way we've communicated for years.
Well, then perhaps it's time for a truce.
You really mean that?
Yes, of course I do.
It wouldn't work, Iris.
Well, it might if we both made a genuine effort.
You're incapable of keeping your word, Iris.
Oh, that was uncalled for, Rachel.
Iris, I've never pretended to like you, and I'm not going to start now. You've done everything you can to make my life miserable and Jamie's.
Jamie's?
Are you going to deny that you did everything you could to break up Jamie and Cecile?
But of course I am. I mean, do you really still think that I am responsible for Philip's presence in Bay City?
I don't know what your little game with Philip is, but you've won. So why don't you go home, get your rice ready, and give me some rest?
Oh, first, there are a few things I'd like to settle in my own mind.
Well, why don't you come back next week and settle your mind?
Well, you see, next week I'm going to be on a Mediterranean cruise with Brian.
A cruise?
Yes, a honeymoon cruise.
Oh, yes. I forgot you've already gotten Brian back also.
You don't sound very pleased.
I suppose Brian knows what he's doing?
He's happier than he's been in years, and so am I.
Well, then why don't you quit while you're ahead?
Because we'll be away for 5 or 6 weeks, and naturally I'm concerned about Mac's well-being.
Strange. You weren't at all concerned about him several weeks ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring that up.
You had your opportunity to help him then, and you wouldn't for your own selfish reasons.
Do you blame me? I mean, you wouldn't even tell me what was going on.
You were so busy trying to protect your dear friend Janice, you didn't care what was going on, even though I told you that Mac wasn't well.
Did you really think that I would believe anything you said since you were having what seemed to be such an affair with Mitch Blake? I mean, it's just one thing I'd like to get sorted out in my mind. Why are you shaking your head?
Because I'm not going to go into this with you, Iris.
Did you get to see a lot of him?
It's none of your business.
Did you go to St. Croix with him?
My reasons for being in St. Croix were obvious.
You know, the newspapers are saying that Mitch and Janice were having an affair. That's why they were trying to kill Daddy. But, of course, you saw so much of him and so constantly. And he did save your life.
And Max?
Yeah, it just made me wonder, you know.
Well, I'm not going to explain it to you, Iris. I'm not going to explain it to you at all. Mac is home now. He's safe. And he's recovering very nicely, and that's all that matters.
There is a trial, of course. The whole story will come out.
Well, why don't you get yourself a seat in the front row of the courtroom? And that should satisfy your curiosity, don't you think?
Oh, no. It's not just idle curiosity.
Oh, no?
No. I am Mac's daughter, and I am entitled to know the truth.
Or at least the grisly details, right?
If you and Mitch were having an affair. You know, I think it's really kind of dreadful of you to have brought Matt back from the hospital in such a weak condition.
All right, Iris, that's enough. You get out of this house right now, or I'm going to call Brooks and have you thrown out. And don't you ever, ever come back in this house again.
Oh, Matt will have something to say about that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he will. And if he says it, it won't be in this house.
Brooks? Brooks? No need to call for Brooks, Rachel. I'm leaving.
Yes, Mrs. Corey?
Mrs. Bancroft is no longer welcome in this house. Do you understand that?
These were just delivered for you, sir.
For me?
Yes.
Well, well.
Here's a copy.
Nice, thank you.
Brooks, why don't you put him in the window?
Yes, I will.
Really a gorgeous arrangement.
Yes, it really is. Thank you, Brooks.
Thank you.
Who are they from, darling?
Well, I'm absolutely stunned.
Who sent them?
They're from the typing pool and the secretaries at the
Oh,
conference.
isn't that sweet of them?
Hurry back, we miss you.
We all do miss you very much, Mac.
How sweet that was. I bet you knew about this.
Well, Ruth, my secretary, was part of the arrangement committee.
You mean they formed a committee?
Of course, the American way.
Well, I'll write them a note, but please tell them that I deeply appreciate their thoughtfulness.
Well, I'd be happy to do that.
Do you know about this, too?
Yes, Jamie told me when we were downstairs.
I
Oh,
think so.
did Jamie tell you about his plans to go to New York?
Well, as much as Rachel would let him tell.
And how about his date last night?
No.
Oh, yes, Jamie went out with Sally Frame.
Well, that's very nice, don't you think?
Yes, I was pleased.
Are they, what, back in the dark ages we used to call an item?
No. I think it's their first date, to my knowledge.
Well, according to Jamie, it won't be their last.
Well, whatever happens, I'm glad they formed a friendship.
Yes, so am I. Pat, are you watching the time? You don't want to be
No,
late
I'm
for
not
the-
watching that time. I think I better go. Well,
Thank you so much for coming.
well, now listen. You, take her advice about getting well.
Oh, I always obey her.
Indeed, you better.
Please come back soon.
I will, if the boss allows me.
Well, give me a call anytime, all right?
Okay.
I'll walk you down.
No, you don't have to, Rachel. I can find my way.
Okay.
Stay with Mac.
All right.
That's a good idea. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Because I don't want you out of my sight for 1 minute.
Oh, I should think by now you'd be tired of seeing me.
I'm never going to get tired of seeing you.
How are you feeling?
How do I look?
You look a little tired.
Well, that shows how looks are deceiving because I feel marvelous.
You had a lot of visitors today.
Not all that many, but we did turn your household routine upside down, didn't we?
Oh, Brooks and Louise didn't miss a beat. They're so happy to have you here.
How about my little girl?
She's still in her nap.
Well, isn't it time to get up?
No, it isn't, not yet.
Sure.
I think it's time for you to have a nap, though.
Well, will you stay with me?
No, because you want to talk.
No, I promise I won't. Cross my heart, hope to die.
Oh, you're just like Amanda. She tries so hard not to spill her milk. She does her best, but she spills it anyway.
I'll do my best. Please.
Oh.
Why are you so perfect?
Perfect. I've been called a lot of things in my life, but never perfect.
Then it's time for you to get your due recognition, don't you think?
You know what I think?
What?
I think the medication you're on is affecting your thinking.
That's not so. Oh, did I tell you that I dreamed about you?
No.
Yes, I dreamed that we were walking down by the bay, hand in hand, looking at the sunset. Isn't that an original dream? But it was so beautiful.
Pretty soon it'll be warm enough and we can walk along the bay.
You want to walk along the bay with me?
With you, I'd want to do almost anything.
How can you be so wonderful to me?
It's easy, I love you.
How can you love me?
Because you're you.